Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's old Pappy back with another one. Thanks for tuning in. And today I'm going to be doing a little bit of, well, what can I call it here? It's a bit of a video that's going to show you how to use the lay of the land to your advantage here. I'm talking about using terrain. I'm talking about using cover. I'm talking about using the pipes and the weird rocks and the outcroppings and the crazy buildings that you see in this game, this Dino Squad game that is really only a few weeks old now. And so we're going to jump right in here on the Dome map. And I got to say, one of the things about Dome that I have kind of mixed feelings about is the darkness of the screen. I find it to be a very, very dark map, and I know it makes it feel a little bit moody for the players, but it's a little dark and hard to see, to be honest. So I kind of hope that maybe that it gets lightened up a little bit, and maybe some of the future upgrades or updates that Pixonic does. I got to admit, every time I play, I got to go and turn the brightness up on this map specifically. But anyway, let's just check it out. Let's get right into it here. So check it out. Look at this. Look at this. I'm in my little Velociraptor here, and I'm just kind of showing you how you can blend in with the vegetation that grows on the ground there. And let's zip over here real quick and give that guy a little nip and a chomp. And did you see what I just did there? Look at this cool thing that these Velociraptors can do. I kind of ran in the dome. There's those little curved areas at the bottom. That's another thing about the terrain that you need to know. There's all kinds of little places that, say, the Velociraptor-sized Dinobots, I should say, the Dinos, can actually get into that the other big, more cumbersome dinosaurs can't get into. So let's go over here and check this thing out here. Now, one of the things I'm kind of wondering and actually excited to learn about as the game goes on is a little bit more about the mythology. It's a really cool concept, the idea of merging technology and dinosaurs. I kind of have been wondering how it happened, right? Like, I know that in their other game, War Robots, Pixonic has really tried to build up a backstory a little bit. There's factions of robots. There's the pilots each have a backstory now. And so I'm kind of curious to know, how in the world will we get to a world in which dinosaurs are A, still alive, and B, we have the technology to put on lasers and gas weapons and all these other kind of crazy things. I'm kind of, I'd love to hear from you guys. We're in the terrain now again, just kind of showing you what you can do out here. I'd love to hear from you guys, though, and some of your thoughts. Like, I kind of had this idea that maybe, just maybe, wouldn't it be cool if some of the War Robots pilots, if these worlds actually were the same world but in different times, and that some of the guys actually got got thrown through a time warp or some sort of thing, and basically got blasted into the past. And even though they didn't have as much, let's just say, the factories and stuff like that, they had the knowledge, and so they were able to use the materials at hand in, say, the Jurassic period of Earth, perhaps, to start building these rudimentary weapons. And of course, they were able to tame the dinosaurs using some sort of technology that basically could allow them to ride these dinosaurs and use these weapons. And so what we're really seeing is a continuation of the War Robots story. But let's just say that maybe Kyle Rogers and a few other of these pilots from War Robots actually got blasted into the past, and now they're still fighting the war 65 million years ago. Anyway, that's one theory. I'd love to hear some more, but anyway, let's get back at it here on the game. You're seeing me die a few times. If you are new to the game, then you'll quickly understand that it's different than some of these fighting games in that you have unlimited respawns to keep playing the same dinos over and over and over again. And so that's why I'm going to go zip in back here with the Velociraptor, because again, I want to get in there and show you some of this cover. Okay, so obviously the cover is great for hiding in. You got to be very careful, though, because you're looking at this guy. He has one of those Ankylosaurus style dinosaurs in red, and you can see that green toxic gas cloud. It's actually kind of a really, really vicious weapon, because even though it's not necessarily sort of one that you would just aim and target at people, what you're doing is you're laying down a cloud of this noxious gas, and then basically what happens is that if you run into it, even after he stumbles and goes on to a different part of the map, if you walk into it, you're going to be taking damage. So you got to be really careful about that. And then let's pop over here, and what I'm trying to do here, again, trying to stay out of the range of the gas clouds, and I'm trying to headhunt. Basically, I mean, I have other videos to kind of talk about this, but one of the things you want to do when you're on the battlefield is you want to go headhunting, because there's critical points on the dinos' heads if you start to shoot them enough, you'll start to see very, very heavy extra damage being done. So that's something else that you want to kind of look out for, is those opportunities to use cover to actually target the head of your enemies without them seeing you. And then here's a nice little loop here, isn't it? That nice little area with the sort of the, I don't know if it's bone or stone outcropping, but you can kind of hop in there. People can't really attack you from the sides. And I imagine if I just kind of parked myself right here, right? If I just kind of parked myself here, I probably could hit a lot of guys if they run by. It's a nice place to space to ambush people, I would think. But let's get back into it here. So what do I want to do? Well, I want to get to the middle here. Obviously, this is a tower game, so we want to control the towers. You can beacon a team out, if you will, by controlling the towers and you know, having their bar deplete while yours grows. So that's great. It's a great strategy if you want to do that. It's also, you can spawn in on the towers, so you want to control the towers so that these guys can't spawn everywhere. Because another thing you want to do in terms of using the lay of the land and maps and sort of the landscape to your advantage is you want to get the tower as close to their spawn area, their home spawn, as possible, so that you can kind of hem them in. Because if you and your teammates actually work together and capture all the towers so the guys can't spawn in on them, then they only have one place to spawn, which is their home. So I assume as the game goes on, and as maybe they bring into a clan system or something like that, I imagine eventually what's going to happen is you're going to have guys basically playing in a strategy like that, where they're going to try to sort of push forward as fast as you can, capture the beacons or the towers on that front line, and then basically hem the guys in. You can see their home spawn off in the distance there, that big red glowing area. Ours is blue, theirs is red, and you basically can hem them in and then basically pick off the enemy team as they're coming out of their spawn. So, you know, mark my words, in a few weeks or months, whenever Pixonic does an update and brings in a clan system, which you guaranteed they will, you're going to see some clans getting together and starting to develop these tactics. And so just remember that old Pappy here, he gave you the idea way back when, before these clans came in. But anyway, one of the things that you notice here, I'm using my Archon. No, I'm not. I'm a damn liar. It's a Primarch. I'm using a Primarch, which is an Ankylosaurus, and I am really, really loving the machine guns. I have double machine guns on this, and I really love it because they can really, really target those heads. And so you see what I'm doing there? See that damage just racking up? That's me trying to go for the head, and there I just got myself a monster. I'm going to try to get another one here, and that little circle, once that appears, that is your target. Aim for that, and you can bait monster × 2. You really, really want to go for that. So again, if you're using the lay of the land and you're using the terrain to your advantage, you might want to find places where you're kind of protected on either side. Like right in between this little dome outcropping area would be kind of a nice place to set up as well, because guys from the outside might not be able to shoot you, but you can protect that central tower. Anyway, let's get back in here. You can see some of the big boys are coming on the field now, right? One of the things you'll notice in this game as it progresses is that increasingly the more and more stronger and bigger and powerful dinos start to enter the game. Sort of, and if you haven't played it before, you see on my screen here, that's sort of how the game works, is there's this kind of currency, and some of the dinos are free to enter the game, and other ones you have to pay to enter the game, and the longer you wait, the cost goes down. That's a built-in way that Pixonic has created to try to stop everybody from just spamming the battlefield with gigantic Tyrannosauruses the entire game, and allowing the game to kind of unfold. I mean, it starts off with a bunch of little dinos, little velociraptors and stuff like that. Then the medium-sized ones usually enter the game, and then at the end it's this massive Titanosaurus battle with all these gigantic variations of Tyrannosaurus out there. And so I have one here. It's called a Mantis, and I'm shooting this flak cannon or whatever it's called, getting myself a rampage. It also has this ability, if you push the button, all the dinos have special abilities. Some of them are snipers, and they give you a scope that you can zip on people. Some of them are just rampaging bullies like this guy, and you use his ability, and you can just storm right over top of people and stamp the living snot out of them. Anyway, I got my butt handed to me here, but on the other hand, look how I did individually. Got MVP, I got the #1 number of kills, Most damage. You can check out the stats yourself if you want to freeze the frame. But I guess my final thoughts for this video is this is just an example of one map and some of the terrain that you can use. I'm going to suggest as much as possible, use that cover when you're a little tiny velociraptor, get in the leaves, get in between those little holes, those little cubby holes and whatnot that the bigger dinos can't get in. Don't just run around like crazy. Try to play smart. When you get into the medium-sized dinos, you want to more set up a defensive perimeter. My Primarch is a really good example of a dino that can kind of sit on a tower and then just start headhunting the guys that are coming at you as you're gradually trying to push the enemy back. And then at the very end of the game, of course, when the big mamas and the big old stompers come out here, the big Tyrannosaurus ones, then it's just a free-for-all. Chomp is everything that runs by you. Try to blast them. Try to really put a push on beacons, because a lot of times what you're going to see there is that you're going to, that's when the beacon control becomes really crucial, and you could literally lose the game. You could be winning like I am. You could be leading in damage, leading in kills, leading in everything, and still lose because eventually the other team just out-towers you. So that's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, I want to hear from you. Keep in mind what I had to say about clans. My prediction is that pretty soon they're going to come into the game, which is going to make it really exciting for everybody. And you know what? If you like what you saw, please always hit the subscribe, the like, let me know. And until next time, see you on the battlefield.